Hey guys, welcome back to Election Center, and in this video, we're going to be talking about Donald Trump's pathway to victory. And it's October 25th, 2020, so this is my latest take, what Donald Trump's pathway to victory is as of right now, after everything that's happened so far in the campaign. Because I made a Trump's pathway to victory video a while back, but that was way earlier in the campaign. So now, with everything that's happened since then, where the race stands now, thought I'd take an updated look at what his pathway to victory is, because he is the underdog right now. So we're going to be talking about how he can manage to pull off a victory, reach that 270 electoral votes number. So yeah, let's just jump into it here. And so yeah, we're going to be filling in these states that he's obviously going to win, probably even if he loses. So yeah, these states here I'm filling in, safe Republican states, for Donald Trump, solid Trump states that he's most likely going to win easily. So this puts him at 103 electoral votes. There's maybe some more states here. Now from here, South Carolina, Missouri, Montana, he's also probably going to win without too much trouble. Alaska, Montana, South Carolina, Missouri. These are states that maybe are a bit closer than we'd expect right now, a bit to that competitive level. But, I'm still thinking are pretty likely to go to Donald Trump. Don't think Joe Biden's even going to really try to make a play for these states. Gets him at 125 electoral votes. And states that no matter what can't be part of his pathway to victory because he has virtually no chance of winning. I'm filling in these states right now. The West Coast, some of those states in the Northeast, and probably this first district in Maine. He's not going to have much of a chance to win. Virtually any chance at all, actually. Finishing off with New Mexico. And so, yeah, now let's just finish off here with Oregon, which maybe not 100% safe, Joe Biden, but Donald Trump still has virtually no chance of winning. And I'll actually finish off here with Colorado as well. He doesn't have much of a chance of winning. Well, I'll leave Colorado open for now. But yeah, now we've got it down to these states here. Where does Donald Trump go from here? Well, from here he wins Texas, which I think he's favored to win. State he won by 9 points in 2016. There's a leftward trend in Texas, but I think he's going to hold on to it by a couple of points. And so, yeah, this is the next maybe most viable state for him. Georgia, he's got to hold on to if he wants to win. Biden wins Georgia, severely toughens Trump's chances. But, yeah, now more states he's got to win. Iowa, I think he's favored to win Iowa. Ohio, barely favored to win. These are states he won substantially in 2016. Huge swings to the right. They both voted for Obama, and then they voted big time for Trump in 2016. 9 points in Iowa, 8 points in Ohio. I think he's going to hold on to Iowa by a couple of points. Barely hold on to Ohio. But yeah, these are states critical to Trump's pathway to victory. And so now from here, what does he win? Well, let's give him this second district in Maine. This is very much within his reach. It's pretty much a tie, maybe a slight Biden lead in the polls. I'm not sure if I trust that because he won it by 10 points in 2016. So yeah, Biden is winning by 14% statewide in Maine, according to the 538 average. So maybe that means second district is a lot closer this time. But yeah, Trump, I think, maybe is slightly favored in the second district. And in a Trump victory scenario, he's probably going to win this district here. Now, going from here, what are these other states that are within his reach and are part of his pathway to victory? Probably North Carolina, one of the closest states right now in the polls, in terms of states where Joe Biden is leading, but Donald Trump has very much a shot at winning. He won it only by a few points in 2016, which makes me skeptical of him holding on to it because Joe Biden's outperforming Clinton by several points. But out of all these states, right, he has a shot at, North Carolina, his next most viable state, and I definitely think it's within his reach. He's been holding rallies there, I think. And in a Trump victory scenario, he's going to have to win North Carolina. 15 electoral votes here in North Carolina. Now, next state he's actually absolutely got to win is Florida. 29 electoral votes. Florida, a lot closer than the national average. Biden leading by 9 points nationally. Florida, it's gotten pretty close. Let's actually look at the 538 average. One thing I do want to quickly mention, by the way, is that North Carolina, going back to North Carolina for a sec, I think it's a number of points to the right of the nation as a whole. So if Biden's lead winnows down to like 6 points, 8 points, 7 points on election day, and he wins the popular vote by like 5 or 6, then that could mean North Carolina barely going red for Donald Trump. But yeah, let's just actually quickly look at this average here, just to show you guys it's pretty close to North Carolina. But Florida is what we're talking about, 2.5%. Trump was able to make inroads in Florida because he has been doing well with Cuban Americans in Florida who tend to be anti-socialist, and Donald Trump's anti-socialist message seems to be resonating with these voters because he is winning over these voters. So yeah, Florida he's definitely got a great shot at, and it's going to be crucial to his pathway to victory. Now, in terms of my latest prediction, I think I forecasted this tilt Biden. But yeah, Trump, if he wins this election, it's going to be because, in a big part, because he manages to win Florida. So this puts him at 248 electoral votes. Not too far from 270. He's 22 away, I think. Now, there are some states here that Trump will not win still if he wins this election. Let me just fill in one of these states here. Virginia. This state is more to the left these days. It was a battleground state. I think it was a red state, battleground state, and now it's pretty much a Democratic state. Let me show you guys. Biden leading by 11% in Virginia, and it's going to the left more. So this is not a state Trump's going to win, even in his most viable victory scenario. This is not part of Trump's pathway to victory by any means, in my opinion. So, pretty much everyone agrees Virginia is not a state within Trump's reach. And let's talk about Colorado, more to the left as well. Almost a safe lead for Joe Biden, so let's give him Colorado. I think this is no longer being thought of as a real even battleground state. I think people are thinking of Colorado now as more left-leaning. And Joe Biden got a huge lead in Colorado, really. If we look at these more highly rated polls here, I tend to not pay attention to these lower rated polls, but yeah, Survey USA gives him +10, YouGov +9, and 538 with their averaging, their methodology they used to come up with this average, that's a 13, almost 14% lead for Joe Biden. But yeah, anyway, this is 210 electoral votes for Joe Biden. Now that we've got Colorado and Virginia out of the way for Joe Biden, 248 for Trump. So now let's think about these other states he could win. Well, let's sort of go east to west here. Maine statewide. This seems to have swung sharply to the Democrats in 2020 statewide in Maine. Nate Silver of 538 made a point that Maine has, I think, one of the highest or the highest percentage of seniors or population of seniors, I think percentage, and seniors have swung sharply to the Democrats in 2020. And so that could be why Joe Biden has this huge lead in Maine. And so, yeah, 14.1% lead for Joe Biden in Maine. And it swung sharply to the Democrats this year. So, probably not part of the Trump's pathway to victory. Clinton, she was able to win it by a few points. Joe Biden probably going to easily win Maine statewide. Not easily, but substantially. And New Hampshire, New England State, real close in 2016. It was just a 0.37% margin for Hillary Clinton. Let me show you guys this average here, 11.2% lead. So yeah, I think that maybe these New England states have swung more to the Democrats this time around. Maine, New Hampshire. I guess it was technically to the right of the nation as a whole in 2016, but maybe not really by too much. Last time a Republican won New Hampshire was 2000. Yeah, 2000. I personally don't see New Hampshire being part of Trump's pathway to victory. That's just the way I see it in New Hampshire. And, look at this lead well outside of that margin of error. Polls can be wrong, but this looks to be, 3 points as in September 12th. That's what New York Times showed. But, yeah, seems to be pretty clear to me that this is Democrat this time around. Let's talk about Pennsylvania. I think Trump's really trying to win Pennsylvania, and this is going to be probably the next state he needs to win. Pennsylvania or Arizona. Let's take a look at Arizona, because this is really close in the polls. One of these close states. Now, it has a leftward trend. There's a leftward trend here in Arizona. And Donald Trump wasn't even able to crack a 4-point margin here over Clinton. So, combine that with Biden significantly outperforming Clinton and the state's leftward trend, I'm not so sure that this is going to be part of Trump's pathway to victory. If it is, it's going to be by a tilt margin. Because let's sort of do the math here. Clinton won the popular vote by 2 points. Biden, say he wins the popular vote by a little under 6%, right? Trump can still win the election in that type of scenario. So if Biden wins the popular vote by 6%, then you could think of it, I know maybe it doesn't exactly work like this, but so that's, 3 or 4 point deficit for the Democrats in Arizona in 2016, 3.5, add 4, because 2 to 6, that's a 4-point improvement for the Democrats nationwide. 0.5% in the Democrats' column, plus that leftward trend. But if Trump's able to make further inroads, I know he is making some gains from 2016. For instance, Latino voters he's improving with. So it's not like Trump isn't making any new gains in 2020. So I think with all the factors being considered, Trump's victory would include a victory in Arizona, is what I think. And now let's talk about Pennsylvania. This, out of the remaining states, would be the state that gets him over 270. And this would be the most realistic Trump victory scenario if he won these states here. So this is Trump's pathway to victory in my eyes. And maybe since we're already giving him the election, we can give him one of these remaining states in the Midwest. Wisconsin, that's a 6.6 lead, narrower than the national average. Let's look at Michigan and Minnesota in the Midwest. Michigan here. Minnesota, narrower than the national average. So maybe we could also give him Wisconsin or also the 2nd district in Nebraska. But since he's already the underdog and it's already more likely than not that he loses the election, we'll just say if he wins, it's most likely that it's going to be as narrow as possible. So this is my take on Trump's pathway to victory right now, the way I see it after all these things that have currently happened. And, of course, something that could help in a state like Pennsylvania, help him solidify Texas, is the issue of oil, right, and fracking. Joe Biden talking about transitioning from oil, and Trump sort of saying he's going to ban fracking. Possibly this message is going to work in a state like Pennsylvania. And I believe oil is a big part of Texas's economy, so that could help him solidify Texas. But yeah, as of right now, this is the way I see it in terms of Trump's victory scenario. So he's got a shot, right? He's got a shot. I still think he's the underdog. I still think Joe Biden's favored to win by a good amount, but Trump has got a shot. When it comes to winning the popular vote, I think that's Joe Biden maybe just has that in the bag. But if Trump's able to get that popular vote margin down to 5-6%, then I definitely see him winning, having a very good chance at winning. And these states, right, that I have filled in for him are all definitely in play for him. And I also want to quickly talk about Nevada before I end this video. He's doing rallies in Nevada. Maybe he could pull an upset in Nevada, make the map look like this. But yeah, that's a wrap on this video, and this is my current prediction for this is my current take on Trump's pathway to victory. And so yeah, definitely leave a comment down below on what you agree with me here on, what you disagree, if you disagree with me here on anything, and maybe what you think Donald Trump's pathway to victory is. I'm definitely interested in hearing your guys' takes and opinions. I'll reply to your comments. We can have a conversation about this in the comments section. But yeah, if you're into this type of content I make about elections, electoral maps, polls, analysis, election analysis, all things elections related, definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel because my video is going to be right up your alley. But yeah, I say it one last time. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, thought it was interesting, and I'll see you in the next election center video. Bye, guys.